What's going on, everybody? Exceptional Gabe here, back with another edition of Exceptionally Animated. And today I've got another great voice actor and producer and writer for you. Please welcome Andrew Sabiston. Thank you for joining us today.
Oh, Gabe, it's a real pleasure to be here with you. Thank you for having me.
So, as I was saying in my intro, not only have you been a voice actor in many Nelvana shows, but you also was a writer on many Nelvana shows. So, how did you get first involved with Nelvana? Were you a writer first, or were you a voice actor first for them?
Yeah, well, good question, and that goes way, way back. I started as a theater actor when I was a kid on stage. My first role was Peter in Peter and the Wolf, and I was like completely just so jazzed by that experience that I just wanted to do more and more theater. So from the age of 8 until I was 16, 17, I was on stage. And I grew up in Victoria, BC, which is out on the west coast here of Canada.
Oh wow!
And I was fortunate enough that there were two professional theater companies in town, and I got chosen to be if they needed a kid, I was the guy who got the call, so I was very lucky. And so I had my equity card by the time I was 16, which is all these professional productions that I'd been in, and learning from just working with really fabulous actors from across the country and across the States and Canada. Who Bastion Theater and Belfry Theater were the two companies, and they would hire from across the country, as I say, and into the States. So that was a great training ground. And then I got the lead on a television series called The Edison Twins, which was a co-production between the CBC, Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, and Disney, the Disney Channel.
Oh
And
wow!
it was produced by Nelvana. And so at the age of, I think at that point I think I was about 18 or 19. And so I got the lead. It was, as I say, called the Edison Twins. It was me and a twin sister, and we were fraternal twins, and we solved problems with science. And it was like a live action show. It was very much a kind of precursor to MacGyver in terms of like solving problems with science, figuring out situations, catching the bad guys, and doing it all through your wits, and being able to defuse a bomb with a paperclip, that kind of thing. Although we didn't have bombs, we didn't have bombs on the Disney Channel. But we were catching people who were like, dumping toxic waste in rivers, or dog nappers, or jewel thieves. So that series ran for 6 seasons. It was globally syndicated, and so went around the world. And when I was working on that show, Nelvana was more known for, this was like their first foray into live action. They were much better known as an animation house, and they had a lot of cartoons on the go. One of them at the time was they got the rights to do with Lucasfilm to do the Star Wars material, and develop two shows, Droids and Ewoks. And I was super fortunate to get cast in Droids as kind of a Luke Skywalker type character in a bunch of episodes, and that started me in the voice world as an actor. And I think my character's name was Thal on that, Thal, and or Thall. I can't remember, but he was a cool, like he was a hero, a youthful hero. Like that was kind of voice I remember. And from there, I what was the next show I did at Nelvana? Probably Tales from the Crypt Keeper, or Sticking Around, or Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Just so many series that they were doing. And then my really big breakout role with Nelvana in the animated space was Diddy Kong on Donkey Kong Country.
Wow!
I don't know, DK. I mean, this place is like, this is a great gig to have landed.
So that's the Diddy voice, and that was a blast. That was a few seasons, that series, and that led me through. I kept on doing voice work. Terrence and Harry and His Bucket Full of Dinosaurs was in the early 2000s,
Mm.
and that was before I was writing as well. And then at a certain point, I wanted to do more. I realized I had probably recorded somewhere of the order of about 600 or 700 episodes of animation in front of a microphone, with the script in front of me. And I'd always been fascinated with how you tell a visual story on paper, which is what script writing is. And I loved the discipline I was observing that the writers used to describe the visuals. And they had to do it in an economical, short space of time on the page, but really paint a quickly understandable and compelling picture. So I really loved that process, and I wanted to do I wanted to explore it. So I asked a producer friend of mine. His name is Jed Mackay, and turned out to be my mentor in children's television. He was working on a show called Lunar Jim, which was a stop frame animation show produced in Halifax by Halifax Film. And I got a gig writing on that, and that was my first writing gig, and that was about 23 years ago, I guess.
Wow.
And since then I've been doing both things. I do voice work, and I write. I'm also a story editor, and I also develop shows as well.
It's amazing. So we'll come back to some of your writing roles later. Going back to your voiceover roles, I wanted to go back to your first ever one, Star Wars Droids. So you were only in that one, not Ewoks.
That I was only in Droids. I wasn't in Ewoks. They were two different series, and they were companions. It was like Droids and Ewoks. Don't know if it was an hour or a half hour. I'm not sure, but
Okay. Because a little fun fact, so Ewoks was actually the first ever voiceover role. This is probably my biggest inspiration for voice acting. Her name is Tabitha St. Germain. Do you know her?
yes, I don't know her personally, but I certainly know who you mean. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, she used to be based out of Toronto as well.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Uh,
right.
anyway, you were also in around that time you were in Babel. I think you did a lot of additional voices. Um,
That's right. That's right. You've done your research. Yeah,
and that was probably one of the flagship shows at Nelvana back in the day.
totally.
And you were in Bill and Ted and Wish Kid, if you remember that show.
I totally do. I was Mel McCleary on Wish Kid. I played Macaulay Culkin's father. So
Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin was the lead on that show, and they recorded him in L.A. And then the rest of the cast was here in Toronto. And yeah, I was his dad. Kind of a nice, just a good old dad. Very, very, just always sort of ready for anything and up for anything, and very, very positive.
And that was probably after a success, of course, on the Home Alone movies
Yep,
and My Girl and all of those movies.
that's right.
Yeah. And after that is probably one of your biggest voiceover roles. You were, of course, Yoshi in the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Yeah, yeah, that was so fun.
Was creepity, spooky, scary, but such a fun gig. Oh, I love this gig. It's so fun. I really, really love the Mario Brothers. They're the best friends.
So, in my opinion, you probably seen the new Super Mario Brothers movie that came out a couple years ago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
making a sequel. I think Yoshi's going to be in the sequel. You should voice Yoshi in the sequel
Oh, thank you. Would you call some people and see what you can make happen there? I really appreciate it.
because that would be awesome. Because the Yoshi voice in the original Super Mario Brothers Super Show is just the cutest voice ever.
It was, and I didn't realize there was some controversy around that at the time when they were deciding to sort of voice him in that sort of a baby way. But it was so I wasn't aware of that controversy until years later. I was reading forums and things like that, and going like, "Oh wow, I didn't know I was in the middle of this controversy." Like I say,
Yeah, and also Tabitha St. Germain was also in that show too. She voiced one of the like Koopa kids, I think.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I have worked with Tabitha. Yeah, I have. Yes, it was just so long ago. And is she based in L.A. now?
No, she's in Vancouver.
Ah, Vancouver. Okay, great. Yeah.
Yeah, but at that time she was known as Paulina.
Yes. Right. Okay. Ah, all right.
Major throwback. I've had her on the
Ye-
show as well.
So, oh, fantastic. Oh, that's great.
So after Super Mario World, you did Tales from the Crypt Keeper, which is another, massive franchise, especially
Yep.
in Canada.
Yep.
What
Yep.
did you voice in that show? Was it like a minor character or a major one?
I think I can't remember. In Tales from the Crypt Keeper, I think I was a kid who got locked in a dungeon or something like that. So I was a guest on that, in a couple of capacities, but I can't quite remember because they were very busy days where I was doing multiple guest spots on different shows, ranging from, yeah, younger kids to older kids. I have a at the time had a very youthful voice, so
I did get a lot of really young kids, and I still do play kids. Do you know the Amazing Spies? Do you know that show? It's a marathon show, and I play Lee on that. And Lee's a jock, and he's not really the sharpest tool in the shed, but oh yeah, he's really cool.
That's funny. Is that a news show?
that was a follow on from Totally Spies,
Totally
and
Spies. Okay.
so yeah, so it was called The Amazing Spies. We did two or three seasons of that with big orders. I remember, and I'm gonna guess that it was in the late 2000s. I think
Oh,
before 2010.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So then after Crypt Keeper, you were in Free Willy. Remember doing that show?
Yeah, Free Willy, absolutely. That was at around the same time as I was PR Fricky in Free Willy, and he was a PR guy. And Gosh, and what was his voice? I know he was very fastidious. I can remember sort of the character. And here's the thing, as a voice actor, you've probably heard this, but you physicalize the character. Like that's what you do. So when I was PR Fricky, I would stand in a certain way. Oh yeah, that's the voice. That's the voice right there. So it's like, I don't know if that's a very wise idea, but we are going to pursue this, and we are going to get a lot of likes on our social media platform. Not that there was social media then, but that's how PR Fricky would stand, and I would dial the voice in by like bringing my knees in, standing up straight, squaring off my shoulders, and talking very precisely with my hands, and then for Terrence, who's on Harry and his bucket full of dinosaurs, and that voice is so high, and I was seeing if I could even get there right now before before I call, because I used to have to really warm up for that voice. Oddly enough, by barking. It's a voiceover trick that if you want to go high with your voice, you do low barks. Have you ever heard this?
No.
So yeah, and so you go oof, 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 oof. You bark like that. People think you're barking mad, and then
I should be able to get.
no, I'm not quite there yet. I would have to do that for a bit to get to Terrence, but it's like
Good to see you. Hey, Terrence, I am totally always flapping my wings.
That was amazing.
thank you.
Oh my god. Well, of course, get back to that show. We got some other shows to look at first. Then we'll get
Good.
back there.
Good.
But the next show, this is another big franchise. You were in the Never Ending Story.
I was a guest, and I cannot for the life of me remember what I did. And it's a funny thing when I was so fortunate to be such a busy working actor those days. I can watch an episode of a lot, the Edison Twins live action. I also did an episode of MacGyver, which was that was such a treat. It was such a beautiful show to work on. But I can watch an episode of the Edison Twins today and actually not know what's coming up next. I should be able to remember. But we filmed an episode we did 79 episodes, and we would film an episode over 5 days, and then boom, right into the next script. So It was really funny. I was my Edison Twins co-star Marnie McPhail. She's a dear friend of mine. She really is she's my TV sister and also my life sister. We're really great friends. And she was saying the same thing. She said it's really bizarre to like turn on the show, not have a clue what the next scene's going to be.
I love that. That's funny. Well, I've had, many voice actors on my show, and they have the, same issue. It's like they've done so many voiceover roles over their career that they forget a lot of them.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, we're very fortunate to have been so busy in those years when there was an awful lot of voice work being done in Toronto. Just an incredible amount.
Hmm.
Not so much anymore. It has really slowed down here.
It's very
Um,
unfortunate. I know.
yeah,
It's same in
yeah,
Vancouver. It's very
that's
unfortunate.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So the next show I'm going to bring up is one of my another favorite of mine, Sticking Around, because it was
Yes,
such a creative show. Like
it was.
basically, the idea of each episode is that it was a show made by kids.
Yeah, yeah. Isn't that fun? And it was and white space and drawing because it was all like stick figures, literally
Yeah,
sticking around. The idea was stick figures and white space is you don't see it used so much. Where literally, you're looking at a piece of paper, a blank piece of paper, and then the show unfolds around it. So that was a very clever show. Really was.
and the next show I'm going to talk about is probably my second favorite show you will ever in, and that's of course Little Bill.
Oh, well, Gabe, that's so kind of you to mention.
And look, your character's right here on the cover.
There I am. That's Cat. Hello, little bear. Actually, hang on one second, Gabe. Somewhere back here. Yes, here we go. There we are. That's my cat.
Oh my gosh, it's so
I love
funny.
I love this guy. And also I have a real treasure from the time we did that show, and that's this wild thing. I'll get him on this side here. There we go. This is a wild thing from Where the Wild Things Are. And you know that Maurice Sendak, the very famous, incredibly talented illustrator, did the illustrations for the Little Bear books.
Mhm.
So he came to a few recording sessions, got to meet him when we were recording Little Bear, and I had this wild thing. Like I grew up reading Where the Wild Things Are, and my mom reading it to me, and my dad reading it to me. I loved it. So I brought my wild thing into the studio, and if you can see right on his tummy, there he is. Maurice
Oh,
Sendak has autographed him for me, and it says, "For Andrew, boo, Maurice Sendak."
that was Cat's catchphrase. Oh my gosh.
Boo. That's why he said it. That's why he wrote it.
So Maurice Sendak, I love Maurice Sendak's work. Maurice Sendak actually did a lot of work at Nelvana. Little
That's right.
Bear. He also did Seven Little Monsters and George and Martha.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Did he? Oh, George and Martha too. I didn't know that. Oh,
I think
wow. Yeah.
he wasn't the original creator. I think he did like the some of the artwork and stuff for the cartoon. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But back to Little Bear. These
Yeah.
are VHS tapes. When was the last time you seen one of these?
Oh, I saw one recently because I don't have that very episode, but I've got one of them. But yes, what do you play it on today? You can't play it.
Yeah. And guess what? I don't just got one. I got two.
Amazing. Oh, and I'm on that one too. I'm on the cover. There he
Yeah.
is.
And he got the
Yeah.
whole gang on there.
Ah.
And then yeah, I got the list of episodes on the back.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, these are of course the Nickelodeon tapes because it aired on Nickelodeon here in the States.
Yeah,
And I think over in Canada it aired on the CBC.
that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So something interesting about Little Bear I didn't find out until years later. Did you know that the US version and the Canadian version has two separate theme songs?
I didn't know that. No, really.
Yeah. I don't know why Nelvana composed two separate theme songs for the two
Yeah.
different countries, but I always thought that was interesting.
Wow. Because the theme song, it was a theme in the States. Were there words to it?
No, they used the same animation from the Canadian theme. All they did was replace the instrumental. Like they had like a new composer compose a new song.
Really? Wow, that's weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I didn't know that.
I think they
Yeah.
did the same thing with Rupert as well. If you remember.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know why they did that. I just always thought that was interesting.
Very.
But what were some of your favorite memories besides getting to meet Maurice Sendak of working on Little Bill?
Well, I what I loved about Little Bear and also Donkey Kong and also Super Mario Brothers, really all the shows that were produced in those years was that the recording process treated them as a radio play. So, and by that I mean all of the actors were in the session. So we all got to feed off of each other's energy and also witness other people's tricks and other people's mastery. So I learned on the floor of recording studios doing shows by watching the masters, and it's a great way, an incredible way to learn, and also just the jam of being with an actor who's giving you a line and then you're responding and then you're maybe doing some improv. Some sessions were open to improv, so we would improvise. Um, those days are the cartoons aren't done so much like that anymore. They're now done individual characters. And you are having to imagine what the feed line is. You're having to imagine what the energy is coming at you. I don't know why they don't record the way we used to back in the day anymore so much. But that was like one of my favorite memories of Little Bear was the cast was always there. All of us were always in the same room.
Well, probably COVID's, a big reason too.
Well, for sure, COVID. Yeah, absolutely. But even before then, I noticed it kind of happening in the sort of in the teens, the late teens before COVID, and then absolutely after COVID. I mean, to the point that I record cartoon episodes from my house now, like a lot of voice actors do. I have a little remote studio, and I set myself up in there, and certainly during COVID, that's what we were doing.
Oh, okay. Very,
Yeah.
very cool. So another question I had about Little Bill, did you get to work with let me look up her name. Did you get to work with Kay Hawtrey on that show?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Yeah. The
So
grandmother.
yeah, she unfortunately passed away, but she has just the sweetest voice ever. She was in Max and Ruby as well. And
Yeah, and I was on Max and Ruby, and I wrote for Max and Ruby, and so I've met Kay on in a couple of cases. Yeah,
oh, I didn't know. So you voiced characters in Max and Ruby too?
I think I did. I wrote on Max. I know for a fact I wrote on Max and Ruby, and Kay. I had Were there guests on Max and Ruby? I don't think there were guests. So no, maybe I didn't voice on, but I wrote on it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I do know one person who was in Max movie by far one of my favorite voice actors in Toronto, Jamie Watson.
Oh, absolutely. Jamie, who was also on Harry and his bucket full of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. But yeah, Little Bill, it's literally one of the most wholesome cartoons ever made.
Yeah.
And I'll forever love that show.
Yeah, it does occupy a very special place because of its energy and its pacing. There aren't a lot of shows. There weren't a lot of shows being produced like it then, and there certainly aren't now with that slow, gentle pacing.
Mhm.
Just it's there's certainly a call for it. Post COVID with anxiety levels with children and things like that. There's definitely a call for that. And Little Bear, it's incredible. I got a cameo request last night from a mother of a 2-year-old who says her favorite show is no, well, that wasn't cameo, that was an Instagram. Someone sent me an Instagram request saying did I have anything Little Bear related that I could send her. I said, well, I don't have anything like physical, but I said how old is your daughter? Tell me her name and I'll send her a personal greeting. So I did last night, and she sent me back a lovely answer. But her daughter is 2. Her daughter is 2 and loving Little Bear. I just think that's fantastic.
Wow. And
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely agree with you. Probably the closest show I can think of to Little Bill is Franklin, which you might have been in as well.
Yeah, well, I wrote a lot of Franklin, and
I was Mr. Goose, the pharmacist in Franklin. I played in several episodes as Mr. Goose, dispensing vitamins and various things that are good for the woodland creatures.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. In a lot of ways, Little Bill and Franklin were very similar if you think about it.
yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Anyway, the next show I wanted to highlight you were in, again, only a couple episodes, was the show Rescue Heroes. Remember that show?
Bob Sled. I played Bob Sled, the rescue hero, Canadian rescue hero, eh?
I remember that show because I had some of the toys, and
Yeah.
last night I interviewed Bryn McCauley, who was in that show as well.
Yeah,
And
right. Oh, great.
and
Yeah.
I remember the toys had the DVDs with the episodes on them.
Yeah, that's right. I do remember that too. I remember seeing them in the studio where they brought them in because there was we also did a movie, a feature film, Rescue Heroes movie.
Oh, so you just reminded me. I'm glad you mentioned that. So going back to Little Bear for a minute, Little Bear had a feature-length movie. Remember that?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And so did Franklin. And fun fact, I co-wrote the closing credits song in Franklin and the Turtle Lake Treasure, which is the Franklin feature film. I co-wrote the closing credits song in that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So was the Little Bear movie released in the theaters in Canada, or was it only on video? Because here in the States, it was only released on video.
I think it was only on video, I think. Not
Oh, that's
sure.
a shame. They should have had a
Yeah.
theatrical release in Canada because I think it came out a while after the show ended. And, it would have been great for, people who grew up with the show in
Oh
Canada to
yeah.
go to theaters and watch their
Absolutely.
childhood.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, another show you were in Care Bears.
Yes, I was Tenderheart Bear.
Mm-hmm.
Tenderheart Bear in the, and I think when was I in Care Bears? Because Care Bears has had so many casts and so many iterations.
Oh yeah, this was like the later version, the like CGI version that came out in 2000. I think it was 2004.
Yeah, but I also know I was in a Care Bears. I was in the Care Bears in the 90s too, so I think I came back to Care Bears twice. Um,
Tenderheart. I think he just spoke like that, and he was just, he had a very tender heart. I mean, what more can you say about Tenderheart other than he really cares?
So after that iteration of Care Bears, there was another version done by Geek Entertainment, who I'm sure
yeah,
you've worked with in the past. Um, so Geek Entertainment did another Care Bears iteration called Adventures in Care-a-Lot, which was 2D. That version used the Vancouver cast, and I know for a fact Tinderheart was voiced by Matt Hill. I don't know if you know who that is, but um,
I don't know, but
he was
okay,
in
good.
Ed and Eddie, which is a pretty iconic show.
Yes. Oh yeah.
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 So anyway, you also mentioned were you in both Totally Spies and the spinoff, or just the
Yep.
spinoff?
I no, I was a villain or two guest spots on Totally Spies, and then I was one of the leads on The Amazing Spies.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And another show you and this is another very innocent show. Like Little Bear, you were in Toot and Putter with the pigs.
That's right. I love that. In that, I was Desmond the kangaroo. He's an Australian kangaroo, and it was a good thing because I happened to have a member of my family got married to an Aussie at the time. So I'd call him up and say, "Hey, Linz, you gotta talk me through the Aussie accent so I say the words correctly."
That is amazing. Wow.
So I would call him. I would call up Lindsay, and he married my wife's cousin, and before a session, I'd have the script like a few days in advance. I'd call him up and say, "Hey, Lens, yeah, I'm going to tell you the lines and you read them back to me." So I had an authentic, like I had a coach for that. It was wonderful.
So after that, okay, it's time for the best show ever. We talk about Harry and his bucket full of dinosaurs. And
Okay, well, you got your Rory. Hang on one second. I will get my Terrence. There we go. Okay.
it doesn't
These guys,
work.
I think the battery is gone. I think the battery's gone. I'll try it. I used to be in there. My voice was certainly in there before. No, I need to replace the batteries.
Because you see, I want one so bad. I'm scouring eBay, but I still can't find one.
Yeah, I know that it's too bad. It's too bad. They didn't have a, they weren't on the market for a very long time. Were they made by Hasbro? Is this the H I see at the bottom? I think it is.
Uh,
Yeah.
Fisher
Yeah.
Price.
Oh, Fisher Price. Okay, really? Okay.
Yeah, I can see it
Yeah.
says on his foot. Oh no, it says 2005 Mattel.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You're right. You know what that H is? That H. There we go. Can I
Is the
get
Harry
that?
logo? Yeah.
Exactly. That's the Harry logo. Totally. Yeah.
So mine has fresh batteries, so I'll play this for you. This is obviously Jamie Watson right here.
Good to
Yep.
see ya, buddy. Look at, I'm having a great time.
Oh, that's great. That is so fantastic. Here, I've got some batteries. Let's see what I sound like. Give me a second, okay? Hang on one
Okay,
second.
so we're doing a home improvement.
Yeah, we're doing a home improvement. We're fixing Terrence. We're helping Terrence find his voice. Oh, this is gonna be great.
2 hours later.
Let's see if this works.
Okay.
New batteries in there.
Catch me! Catch me!
I'm almost there. I gotta bark some more. Oh.
Catch me!
Almost.
That's so awesome, dude.
Oh. I'm glad to have fixed that. Thank you.
I need one. If I ever find one on eBay, that would be awesome.
I hope you do. I wish you luck with that. I wish they gave us, like, when we do these shows, I mean, I think they did give us these. But it would be so nice to have a box of them
But
to be able to send people.
Emailed Jamie Watson a couple of years ago. He told me they never gave him one.
Yeah, well, maybe they didn't. Maybe I had to buy this. I can't remember. It's not a given that they're going to give you one. That's for sure.
Exactly. But anyway, Harry and his bucket full of dinosaurs, again, like Little Bear, is one of the most wholesome cartoons ever made. It's so imaginative. It's so creative. I love, the colorful animation style, the simplistic animation style, how they only have like the dots for their eyes. It's so cute.
Yes.
And in my opinion, that show has by far the best cast out of any show ever recorded in Toronto because it has Jamie Watson, Ron Rubin is amazing. You have Bryn McCormick,
Juan Kioran, Bryn, Stacy DePass,
Jonathan Wilson.
Yeah, I can tell you. I've written a new play, and Jonathan Wilson is going to be in my cast next week. So I am so happy to have him. So, and Jonathan, he was also on Little Bear, right? He was No Feet on Little Bear. He was the snake. Ron Rubin's a dear friend of mine too. So I had dinner with Ron about a month ago. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, he's actually friends with me on Facebook. I got to tell him I interviewed.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Anyway, what were some of your favorite memories of working on Harry?
Again, that ensemble cast was just such a treat. We just love the vibe of it. It was in a small studio too, so there were a lot of us in that cast, right?
Yeah.
When you think, is it five main actors in that cast?
Well, you also have the human characters too, like another favorite of mine, who I also interviewed, Ellie Way, voiced Grandma.
She's
She's
amazing.
just the sweetest.
She
Uh,
is. Oh, she's great. So talented. Yeah.
and Susan Roman voiced the mom,
Yes,
who
that's
was
right.
of course in Sailor Moon.
Yep, absolutely. Along with Ron Rubin was in Sailor Moon too, right?
Yeah, he voiced the
Yeah,
cat.
that's right.
Yeah,
Artemis. He was Artemis.
Artemis. Yeah, but you were
Yeah.
never in Sailor Moon.
No, that was before my time. Before I'd broken into voice work here, I was doing on camera work pretty exclusively when they were doing Sailor Moon.
Because it
Yeah.
would have been cool to hear your voice in Sailor Moon.
Oh yeah, I would have loved to have been on it. Yeah.
But yeah, Harry and his bucket full of dinosaurs probably my favorite episodes. I'm trying to think. Um, I like the one where Harry had an overdue library book, and he didn't want to return it. So when they went into Dino Land, he was trying to hide the book in Dino Land. The book came alive and wanted to go back to the library. So they were trying all sorts of stuff to, like, leave him in Dino World. Like they left him stranded on an island. They tried to get him lost in the forest. And through wacky hijinks, he kept showing back up, and it was so funny.
Oh, you're right. It was such an imaginative show. That was such that's so fun. The creator of that, first name is Graham, I'm remembering. He based in England, and it was a book series in England.
Mhm.
And then produced over here. And wouldn't it be fun to see that show come back? I mean, you know, you never know what shows are going to come back. It would be wonderful to see that come back.
Yep. In the States, I know for a fact in Canada, it aired on Teletoon. Here in the States, it aired on Cartoon Network.
Yep.
And I remember watching it on Cartoon Network. But the sad thing is, I never got to see the second season because I know there's two seasons. Because I guess the show did so poorly in ratings on Cartoon Network that they never even aired the second season.
Huh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Here in the States, which
Oh,
is a shame because
yeah.
they might have aired it years later because we had a channel called Cubo, which actually had like a partnership with Chorus Entertainment, which of course owns Nelvana and
Yes.
Loudwire and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But it's a shame that the second season never aired in the prime on a Cartoon Network because it was
Yeah.
a very good show.
It it is a shame. Maybe it was skewed too young for their audience, you know? I mean, maybe it's one of those it was just a mismatch, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that was at a time when Cartoon Network was kind of experimenting. It was trying out a preschool block, and
Ah,
people don't really associate Cartoon Network with preschool shows. So
right, right.
the preschool lineup just kind of came and went.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, and maybe if it were to come back, it would hopefully be on a network that where people are going for that sort of stuff, for
Yeah.
that kind of
Well, it
content.
would probably be on streaming because just about everyone uses streaming these days
That's right.
instead of,
That's right. Yeah.
in fact,
Yeah.
here in the States, it's actually streaming on Peacock. I don't know if you knew that or not.
No, I didn't. Oh, good.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
also on Tubi as well. So you can watch the complete series on Tubi or Peacock.
Nice. Oh, that's great.
So
Gosh, and you probably know this answer because I can't access it right now. How many episodes did we make of Harry and his bucket full of dinosaurs?
oh, here, I can look up the answer right now. My guess is going to be 52, but it might have been more than that because there were two
Yeah.
seasons. I was right, 52. Ha
52. Now, are they 52 half hours or are they 52 11s?
let's see. So the running time of each episode was uh, so 11-minute separate
Yeah.
episodes. So
But it was 11. So 52 11s is what we did. Because sometimes you do 52 22s, which are actually, it just means that you've got double the amount. You got 104 11s
yeah, it says we got
in that.
104 segments, 52 total.
Okay. Oh, it is. Oh, so we did 104 episodes. Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
you, for a fact, I know had a lot of fun on that show, and the entire cast did because I can just tell by watching it. The entire cast, like Jamie Watson, Ron Rubin, Stacey DePass, everyone is having lots of fun
Oh,
doing
we
this.
are. We are. We had a riot in those sessions. We really did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I've seen a couple episodes of the second season, and something that immediately catches me off guard. I noticed Harry's voice actor. Do you remember the name of Harry's voice actor? I
No,
forget.
I don't remember. No, what?
Andrew Chalmers, I think, is his name.
Yes.
Could be
Okay.
wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I noticed in the second season his voice actor is going through puberty, so it sounds a little off in the second.
That's what happens. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
always happens whenever you voice like a little kid, especially
Yeah.
a little boy. Um, as he grows up, voice goes through puberty, and they often, if the show goes on for a long time, like for example, Arthur. I think you're in Arthur, weren't you?
I was. Yes. I was on a few episodes of Arthur. Again, as not as a regular, but as various in various different roles over
Hmm.
the and Arthur, boy, oh boy, that show went on for years. What I mean, how many seasons? 23 or something, right? It's a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, Arthur, obviously they had to replace the voice of Arthur like so many times since it went on for
Yeah.
so long.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, that's another good point. Arthur was originally recorded in Montreal because it was done by the studio Cinar, but
That's right.
it became Cookie Jar, which eventually became DHX, and so on, so on, so on. So,
Yes.
when they were, changing names, I guess they must have moved to Toronto at one point.
Yeah. Yep. They did move the recording to Toronto at one point. I knew the voice director, know the voice director of that show very well. And she'd be going up to Montreal for those records. I remember that. And then at some point she wound up just staying in Toronto and they were recorded here. Probably when it went over to Cookie Jar, you're probably right.
Well, that must have been nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Although a trip to Montreal, is nice. So
any final thoughts on Harry and his bucket full of dinosaurs before we move on?
just I hope it comes back. It's one of those shows that I really think the world could do with more Harry.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
again, your character, Terrence, is by far one of my favorite characters because again, the high voice, it's so cute and he's happy flapping around.
Yeah, no, he was, and he had a lot of spirit and spunk too. He was he was peppy. He was like
Yeah.
he wasn't a shrinking violet.
Yeah.
I liked him for that. He's this tiny little guy, but oh, he's got lots of. And I remember there were a couple of episodes where he got like if Terrence got mad, like look out, he's this little firecracker. Right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Just again, the episodes were so imaginative.
Yeah.
Like it could be something as simple as walking around the attic and finding a dinosaur that Harry's grandma owned back in the day.
Yep.
That was never used, and then turns out this dinosaur that they find in the attic is super energetic and is like bouncing off the walls. Remember that episode?
I do. I think I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and also, they had some guest stars, of course, in Harry as well. Most notably, Robert Tinkler, who's another favorite of mine.
Oh, dear friend, yes, and I love Rob. I've worked many times with him. Care Bears, I was on Care Bears with him. I think I was also on Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure with him. I think he was in that session too. So I
Mm-hmm.
yeah I see Rob a lot at various conferences that we attend together.
Mm-hmm. And
Hmm.
another favorite is Julie Lemieux. Uh,
Absolutely, Julie's in my new play. She is
oh,
also voicing in my new play. She's a dear friend and such a talent. She
oh
is.
yeah, yeah. Julie is awesome. Again, if you would like to see if she would be interested in doing it as well, that would be.
I'll be spreading the word, Gabe. I will spread the word.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, moving along. Another show you did was Mike the Knight,
Yes, that's
and you
right.
voiced Squirt.
Squirt the blue dragon. What is my squirt voice? Let me see. What is my Squirt voice? I'm gonna look it up right now while we're sitting here.
8 hours later.
Okay, so Squirt, he's like, yes, he gets a bit down there. Yeah, he wasn't quite as high. Oh, but now I remember. Oh, yeah, he was very nervous, quite very nervous all the time. It was a good thing he had his bigger dragon friend with him.
That was amazing. That was amazing. And dragons are awesome, by the way. Like I have a couple, notable dragon cartoons. I'm sure you remember Jane and the Dragon, which was
Jane and the Dragon,
show.
absolutely. That was a great series. I was never on that, but I certainly know it.
And this show used the Vancouver cast, but this show is also incredible. There was the ever classic Dragon Tales, Dragon.
Absolutely. Yeah, my son grew up, he loved Dragon Tales. He sang the theme song. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've played several dragons. I was, of course, Squirt, as we're talking about. No, Yoshi's a dinosaur.
Yeah.
I was Desidor Dragon on a show called Bow on the Go. And how did he was breathy. He had sort of a breathy voice.
The door! That's right. He spoke like this.
It was a show about physical literacy, which meant like getting up and moving. And do you know Bow on the Go? Do you know
Yeah,
that show?
that was one of your most recent roles, wasn't it?
It was a while ago. It was like 2008 to maybe 12, around there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard of on the Go, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And another show you did, not only did you voice act in this show, but you wrote episodes of this show. And I'm of course talking about My Big Big Friend.
Yes, absolutely. Gosh, that was a fun show to do. Yeah. Again, I was a guest character on there. That was a wonderful, like you're saying about Harry. My big friend was just imagination forward, wasn't it? That show.
Yeah.
It was just so much about the way a kid thinks and the random creative tangents that a kid went on. One of my favorite scripts I wrote for that was about getting for some how did that work? They wound up getting lost in a in a macaroni arts like collage, is sticking down macaronis. Can't remember the details of it, but it was one of my favorite scripts I wrote. Now you think I could remember it saying that, but I don't right now.
Yeah.
I'd have to read it again.
Hmm. And you were also in Super Y with its very catchy theme song, Who's Got the Power? The Power.
That's right. Yeah. In Super Y, I am the sir. And so he's a villain, the Eraser, and I've been recording new episodes of Super Y. It's as the Eraser, so that's been really fun. That'll be coming
because
up.
don't they have like a new like spin-off of Super Y?
That's right, Super Y comic book adventures. That's right.
Yeah, and this one's in 2D, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a total like comic book aesthetic. It's really great.
Also, I find it funny because usually it's the other way around. Most shows go from 2D to CGI, but this one went from CGI to 2D.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer 2D anyway, so love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. And then another show you did was Little Chalmers for Nickelodeon.
That's right. Oh my goodness. Yes, Little Charmers. I was dad on that show. I don't know, girls. Is that a good idea? I think you should put that wand away right now. Until you know how to use it, until you know the spells, dear, I don't think you should be. Whoa, careful. Whoa, sparkle attack.
Oh man. And finally, you did work on Globies.
Yes, Globies. I was a various guest characters on Globies. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm trying to. I remember I was a British tennis racket.
Tennis racket.
Oh yes, here we are. Pip pip, let's play on. Oh, what a wonderful day it is for tennis. Come on, serve. Here we go. Lob and return. Love it.
All right. So another show I wanted to go back to because I don't think we really addressed it earlier. Obviously, you in Donkey Kong Country brought it up earlier, but
Yep.
something I wanted to say about Donkey Kong Country. It's very impressive. Its animation style. It was like one of the first, I believe, the first television show to use the motion capture animation style.
That's right. And I had the pleasure of visiting the motion capture studio in Paris when they were doing this. So they did the motion capture in Paris and voiced it in Toronto. And I was going back and forth to the UK. And then my wife was based in Paris at the time, so I was going over and seeing her in Paris, and I got a tour of the motion capture studio, which was really cool. Saw all the French actors in their suits with their little mocap balls on their suits, filming. Like it was just wild to see that
Yeah,
technology that was so
very
new
impressive
at the time.
technology, at the time. But looking
Yeah,
back, it's kind of uncanny.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But that was cutting edge at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, Donkey Kong Country had a song in every episode. Did Diddy Kong ever sing?
Oh, absolutely, he did. Yeah.
The time has come for me to help DK swing into action and finally save the day. Woo!
The Who, that
I
little
love
Who
it.
thing. We were modeling Michael Jackson. It's like DK. Yeah, Diddy had a little bit of a
Michael Jackson. Oh, yeah.
to
So the
him.
song I always remember was the one that Donkey Kong sang, the love song that's like, I'll shower you in coconut cream pie.
Yeah, yeah, right. When he's pining for candy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. That show is a classic. Because the video games were classic. I still have my Super Nintendo, by the way.
Oh, cool. Do you?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I
Yeah.
have Donkey Kong Country 1, and 2, but not 3. I also
Yeah.
have Yoshi's Island too, by the way.
Oh, cool. Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Neat.
Um, and one other show I wanted to highlight. So this is actually not an animated show. However, so fun fact about me, this is something I do. I work in the aviation industry, and you were on
Oh,
air crash investigation. Remember that show?
yeah, that's right. I was on two episodes of what's that? What's the show called? It was called
Air crash
Mayday.
investigation.
Or is it called Aircraft Investigation in the States? In Canada, it's called Mayday.
Yes, yes. In the States, it's called air crash investigation.
Okay, and you work in that world in aviation.
Yeah, so it's literally one of
Oh,
my favorite shows. And I remember which episode you were in. You were in Swiss Air Flight 111,
that's
which
right.
crashed on the shores of Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Yep.
It was a tragic accident because Swiss Air was like one of the largest airlines at the time.
Yes.
And that crash literally caused a collapse of an entire country's flag carrier.
Yeah, it did just a disaster, and off Canadian, right off the coast of Canada there.
In that episode, you portrayed an air traffic controller at Halifax.
Yep.
And a question I had is when they recorded that, did they record that in an actual like air traffic control facility, or did they like make a mock set?
Oh, funny question you should ask. And actually, it has a personal link to me. This is a great question. So, my father worked at a military base, civilian on the civilian side of the military here in Toronto, called DCIEM, the Defense and Civil Institute of Environmental Medicine, and they had a deep sea simulator in this facility that could take divers down to incredible depths, huge pressure, and it was a pressurized capsule. And so what we used, funny enough, for the set for that was my dad's my dad's facility, and he was there, and he didn't know I'd been cast on this show, and he was in charge at that facility at that time of doing things like this, like renting out the facility to movies and things like that. So I was in his base and I'd visited him on take your kid to work days when I was like very small. So it was really a full circle moment to be there. And yeah, it was a dive facility with all those buttons, but so it was not an air traffic control tower.
That is awesome. Because that makes sense because in the actual episode it does look way more advanced to be an air traffic control tower.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and the fact that there are no windows in the scene really,
Oh, you've got a good eye for detail. That's correct. Yeah.
yeah. Because obviously most ETC towers has the windows, obviously,
Yeah.
so they can see what's going on.
Yes. Yeah.
So anyway, didn't you say you were in another episode? Do you remember the other episode you were in?
It was about a helicopter crash that would a helicopter servicing the North Sea oil platforms. I was a British pilot in that, so I had a British accent. Um, and I can't remember. We filmed that in Nova Scotia, so that was flown out to Nova Scotia, actually to the facility that does service the North Sea platforms, the one or the ones on the ocean shelf off of Canada, Hibernia on the Hibernia field. But the episode was about a crash in the North Sea, and we were in a huge tank for that one because the helicopter went down in the sea. We're in a massive research tank where they research wave patterns in a huge tank. So the set was built in the tank. The helicopter was lowered into there was some underwater filming. It was quite intense. It was an amazing experience.
So you actually put a helicopter in the water for filming?
Well, they built like it was made of plywood, right? It's sort of we were in a real helicopter for a number of days filming it, but then then the tank was a set that they lowered it down. They lowered the helicopter down into
That's
the water.
so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Because I would love to get more actors from that show onto my podcast as well. Like another iconic voice actor who was also on that show. Have you ever worked with Dwayne Hill?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
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 He was in Seven Little Monsters, Marvin the Tap Dancing Host. He's awesome.
Oh, he's incredible. He is a force of nature, Dwayne is. And he was the show I did with him was called What It's Like Being Alone.
Oh wow. Is
Yeah.
that a live action?
No, a stop frame animation, and I think I've got a treasure back here. Hang on one second. Where is my? Ah, there he is. This is really cool to have.
Oh,
This guy.
oh
That's Brian Brain. Brian Brain is the smartest little orphan in the world. He's got not just one brain, but two brains, and this one up here says brain. I'm a genius.
is that one of the original puppets they used?
Yeah, yeah, that's a stop frame animation puppet. Yeah.
Wow.
So you can move the arms. They're opposable. They're posable arms. Yeah.
That is so cool. And I couldn't help but notice you got a plushie of Terrence on that shelf too.
Oh, do I? Oh, I do. That's right. Oh, and this, yeah, my Terrence up here. This has been signed by the entire cast.
Oh my god.
Everyone's on here. There's Juan Kioran, Sid. There's Ron Rubin, and he's done a little dinosaur. He's done a little dinosaur print with his signature. Deb Toffin was our director. She's right on his tummy. Does that say Stacy DePass? No, that's Jamie Watson right there, just above the hip.
Oh my gosh.
What do we have on the back here? There's Stacy DePass on the tail.
Oh, Stacy
Stacy.
DePass.
Yes. Oh, that's so fun. And Jonathan, I guess there's Jonathan. This looks like Jonathan Wilson up here. There he is.
Yeah.
Certainly looks like Jonathan.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's him. Uh,
Yeah.
but it looks like none of the human characters signed it. Oh man.
Yeah, well, that was the thing on that show. We just recorded the dinos separately, and so we would see the human characters. We'd see Grandma and Andrew. Now I do remember Andrew Chalmers, right?
Yeah.
That's what you said. Was
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. We'd see them in the waiting room, or we'd come in and we'd be taking over the studio after they had done their recording.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll go ahead uh and wrap it up pretty quickly. But before we wrap it up, obviously one of the reasons I've been wanting to do this, I've been feeling very nostalgic about not only Harry but Nelvana, because you probably heard the sad news that they shut down recently.
Have I ever heard that sad news? They've been an employer of mine, and they really have felt like my home for 40 years. I started very young, working on the Edison twins with them in my teens. So, and I have been with Nelvana as in the capacity of a voice actor, a writer, a story editor, a series developer, and creator. So it has been, yeah, it was such a shock, and I treasure that company. I treasure what they did, and I certainly hope that the day comes when they reopen. They probably will in a different form, um, but I sure hope that day comes.
Yeah, but it sounds like the whole, monopoly under Course Entertainment, it's just kind of a mess right now.
Yeah, sadly, it was I think it was too big from what I know, the little I know. It just got too big and got away from being creator driven. I mean, when Nelvana was founded by Michael Hirsch, Patrick Lubert, and Clive Smith, they were
Yeah.
creators. They were passionate about the shows that they created, and every one of them was extremely important to them. And they were a joy to work for all those years. So. Yeah, and
So,
so was Chorus for certainly for a time, but I think it is, in all the shows that I worked on under Chorus, I developed co-developed and co-wrote series Ranger Rob, um, and a series called The Remarkable Mr. King, which was again we modeled actually that was I had such a good time on that one. The Remarkable Mr. King is very much like Little Bear. The pacing is like that. It was kind of a throwback to that vibe.
mhm.
Yeah.
So before we wrap it up here, do you have any, final thoughts to share?
Final thoughts are just I feel like I've been incredibly fortunate in my career to work with the best, learn from the best. I live in a great country. I get to play and stay young, which I think is really a privilege. I feel so blessed that I have the life I do.
I love it. All right, we'll go ahead and wrap it up so I don't keep much of your time. But I thank you so much for joining me today, Andrew. It was such a pleasure talking to you.
Real pleasure talking to you, Gabe, and I will talk to my pals and I'll spread the word.
All right, sounds good. Bye.
Okay. Take good care.